None of this means that God always directs the details of our lives in a way that always makes sense to us. So come back to this truth in this text. As we walk with God, he directs the details of our lives for the accomplishment of his will. And this is where we've just got to remember that this whole thing is about the accomplishment of his will, not ours. Paul had what I'm guessing he thought were pretty good plans for his second missionary journey. And over again, God was messing his plans up. Has God ever messed up your plans in ways that were not easy? Don't miss it. God directed the details of Paul's life all the way to prison. The details of God's direction for Paul and Silas included them being stripped of their clothes and beaten to a pulp. You know, we say things today like the safest place to be is in the center of God's will. Brothers and sisters, the most dangerous place to be may be in the center of God's will. Lord willing, this time next week, I'll be in the mountains of Nepal among very impoverished men, women, and their families who've never heard the gospel. And quite frankly, if all we're looking for is ease and comfort and safety when it comes to God's will, then we'll never get the gospel to those people. In Acts 16, God is directing in ways that Paul doesn't always understand, and the same will be true in our lives. There's a whole other sermon, a lot of sermons here on suffering and the sovereignty of God, maybe another day, but there's clearly mystery when it comes to how God directs the details of our lives in ways that are not easy, in ways that can be hard and painful, but that's another one of the things I love about Acts 16, because there Paul and Silas, they sit in chains, and this was their chance. This was their chance to say, God, why did you lead us here? To ask, God, is this really your good plan for our lives? But that's not what they're doing. What are they doing? They're singing and worship. And that's the end of this truth we're talking about. That's the point of this text we're looking at. As we walk with God, he directs the details of our lives for the accomplishment of his will and the spread of his worship around the world.